Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of At the Table. September is National Whole Grain Month and National Rice Month. So I figured for today's episode we'd talk about whole grains and rice. So you've probably heard all sorts of things about whole grains and how they're good for you. Well, they are. They're great. So whole grains, that's the entire kernel of the grain still intact. So that would be your bran, your endosperm, and the germ. Those are all important and they all provide nutrients that we need. When we talk about refined grains, two of those things have been stripped away, and all you're left with, well, the germ and the bran is stripped away, so all you're left with is the endosperm. And while there is some nutrients, you need all three to get complete nutrients. So whole grain is important because there's research that shows that it can help with chronic disease, so lowering high blood pressure, cholesterol. It's really good in managing diabetes because it helps keep your blood sugar low. It's also helpful for weight management because it contains fiber, and fiber is very important in helping us feel full after we eat, instead of, you eat and an hour later you're hungry again. And there's small things that you can do to make switches from refined grains to whole grains. So brown rice is one of those. Very easy. You can choose whole grain pasta. You can add in other grains like quinoa you can use it as a side, you can put it into salads. It's very, very versatile. Now, rice. Let's talk about rice. Rice is a grain, right? Brown rice would be a whole grain. And rice is one of those grains that is commonly eaten throughout the world. Like, everybody eats rice, okay? Now, it provides energy in the form of complex carbs. There's lots of minerals in rice, so that's very important. One of the biggest things that is in rice that's very helpful is that it provides folate, which is important for brain development. It also contains iron and zinc. So those are very important for a healthy overall diet. Now, I mentioned fiber, right? Fiber is very important for us, especially as part of a healthy, balanced diet. As I mentioned, the whole grains can help regulate your blood sugar and lower cholesterol. That's because of the fiber that's found in whole grains. So fiber, there's two types. There's soluble and insoluble. So the soluble, that is helpful in removing cholesterol from your body. Okay, and you can find that in dried peas, beans, some veggies like carrots and spinach. And then the insoluble, that's really helpful in keeping your digestive tract healthy, okay? That insoluble fiber helps food move along so it doesn't get stuck in your digestive tract, right? And then a lot of people ask me, how much fiber do I need in a day? All right, no problem. You need about 23 to 35 grams per day. Now, do you have to get all of that at once? No, not at all. You can break it up very easily in breakfast, lunch, dinner. You want to make sure that your breakfast contains a whole grain. You can do that through oatmeal. You can do that through whole grain bread. At lunch, you can use, again, whole grain bread if you're doing a sandwich, brown rice, whole wheat pasta, those type of things. Same thing with supper. Just try to find some way to incorporate it. And if you have some picky eaters and brown rice is kind of like an ick thing, that's okay. You can start by slowly incorporating it. So maybe start with a normal serving of white rice, and then the next time add in a little bit of brown rice and slowly switch it over. You can also dress it up whenever you cook it. Instead of using water, use chicken broth or vegetable broth. To cook it in, you can add all sorts of seasonings and spices. And the one other thing I really want to say is that whenever you're looking at whole grain packages. Don't get confused whenever something says, whole grain or whole wheat. The best thing you can do is look at your ingredients. So find the ingredients, and if it says whole wheat flour, you're good to go, okay? If it says anything about enriched, that's not whole wheat. So today I'm going to feature some recipes that use whole grains, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that. We're gonna take a quick break right quick, and whenever we come back, I'll show you what we're gonna be doing. See you in a few.
Hey guys, Sydney and Jesse here from At the Table.
Are you enjoying the show? We want to hear from you.
We have a quick survey where you can tell us things you've learned, recipes you've tried, and how the show has impacted you. You'll be entered into a grand prize drawing. Check out our link or scan the QR code for more info.
Thank you for tuning in and cooking with us at the table.
Looking for training that leads to a high-demand, high-paying career? Bladen Community College can help you get there. Enroll in our welding program and gain the skills and expertise needed to excel in the industry and secure a successful future. Explore our HVAC program, where you will learn to install and service energy-efficient systems to keep homes and businesses comfortable year-round. Learn more at bladencc.edu or give us a call to get started today.
Hey y'all, welcome back. So, like I said, we're gonna make some recipes today that focus on using whole grains. So our first recipe is a quick and easy bean and rice dish. I like this dish because you can make your rice ahead of time. You can batch cook this for the entire week. So if you have other meals that are going to include rice, you're set already on that. So I've already cooked the rice. And I did that, a trick I learned a while back is instead of bringing your water to a bowl and then dumping the rice in there, saute it in a little bit of olive oil first, because you kind of toast the grains and it helps bring out that flavor. So it gives the brown rice extra flavor whenever you do that. So I need about 1.5 cups of cooked brown rice. So I'm just going to scoop that out. And you're going to put that into another pot. All right, so that's 1.5 cups. And to that, I'm going to add a can of diced tomatoes with green chilies. You could use regular tomatoes if you wanted to. It's completely up to you. You don't have to drain that. You just dump the whole can in there. And then after that, you need about 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning. I didn't have any taco seasoning on hand, but I had the ingredients to make some. So I am going to use about, I'd say, 1/2 teaspoon of the ingredients. So I've got garlic powder. There's also a little bit of cumin. That gives it a little bit of smokiness. Smoked paprika. Oh. Well, there's about 1/2 teaspoon left in the jar, so I'm just going to empty that jar. Did that. We need oregano. Very good. Chili powder. Onion powder. And because I like a little extra heat, I'm going to add just a pinch of cayenne. Just a pinch, not too much. All right. So now you want to stir all of this together. Get it really well combined, mix it good. And the juice from the tomatoes kind of helps, keep it from being so dry. All right. So I've got that mixed together. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the heat here because we want to warm this through. We don't want a cold dish. And if you've made your rice ahead of time, then, you know, it's going to be cold, so you want to heat it through. So when you get all of the tomatoes and the rice and the seasoning mixed, we're going to add in a can of black beans. Of course, try to go for lower sodium. You're going to drain and rinse the beans. All right, so there we go. I'm going to add just a little bit more in there. All right. Now, I'm going to stir all that together. Very good. Now I'm going to give this just a little bit of a taste because I did not add any salt, but I did salt my rice as it was cooking. Yep. Need just a tad bit of salt. All right. And then you're going to, again, just mix everything up, put a lid on it, and let it cook, you know, over medium for about, I don't know, I'd say maybe 10 minutes, just till it's heated through. You want it nice and hot. Right. Put my lid back on the cooked rice. Put that lid on. Now the next thing we're going to make are sweet potato quesadillas. I know it's a little unconventional, but I promise they're going to be good. So last night, I went ahead and roasted my sweet potatoes. I like to roast mine just because I think roasting helps bring out the natural sugars in there, and they taste better to me. So we're just going to peel these sweet potatoes, and we're going to put them into a bowl. You need about 4 small sweet potatoes, and trust me, these are extra small. I was afraid they were going to be too small whenever I picked them up at the grocery store. So there we go. And if you do that, and to roast your sweet potatoes, 400-degree oven for about an hour. And then I will turn the oven off and let them sit there in the oven for another hour so that residual heat continues to cook them. And then you just let them cool, and you can stick them in the refrigerator with the peels on. That's perfectly fine. All right, so I have got the sweet potatoes peeled. To that, I'm going to add some cumin and chili powder. I'm going to mix it up, and whenever we come back, I'll show you how to put these quesadillas together.
When we're connected, American communities thrive. As the internet connects more Americans every year, access to robust and reliable broadband is more important than ever for rural communities. The Universal Service Fund enables affordable, high-quality broadband, improves healthcare outcomes with access to telehealth options, gives children the education for a bright future, and allows business growth and job creation. The Universal Service Fund is expanding and sustaining connectivity for all, because when we're connected, America thrives.
Providing fewer commutes, more backyard offices, and crystal clear meetings. Providing less, you froze up, and more presence in your presentations. Providing a better internet experience. Providing possible.
Ready to turn your creativity into a career? At Bladen Community College's Cosmetology Department, we're shaping the future of beauty one student at a time. From hairstyling and makeup to skincare and nails, you'll gain hands-on experience with real clients, expert instructors, and industry tools. Your career-focused degree or certificate in cosmetology is waiting. Learn more at bladencc.edu or give us a call to get started today.
All right, we're back. So I added the cumin and the chili powder. You need about a teaspoon of cumin and a half a teaspoon of chili powder. Taste it. You may need to add a little bit of salt. That's fine. So I've mixed it all together. So now it's kind of like the beginnings of a sweet potato casserole, but just savory. So you're going to take some of this, and you're going to need tortillas. We use whole grain tortillas here. And you can do it one of two ways. You can do the whole tortilla and add one on top of it, or you can do half and fold it. It's completely up to you. I'm gonna do half and fold it. So you just put some of your sweet potato mash on there, half of the tortilla. Try not to get it too close to the edge because you don't want it to squish out. Add a little more on there, spread it out. Good. And be sure to check on your rice every now and then. You don't want it to stick and burn, so stir it occasionally. All right, so we've got the sweet potato down. Next, you're going to sprinkle it with black beans and corn. So we're just gonna kind of sprinkle those over. You can do however much you want, that's fine. And then we're gonna do corn. You could be fancy with the corn and get the Mexican corn that has the peppers in it, the green and red peppers. Add a little more color to it. And then the cheese. So we're gonna sprinkle some cheese on here, and you can use any kind of cheese you want. You could do pepper jack, cheddar, it's up to you. And of course, with the cheese, measure with your heart, as much cheese as you'd like. So now, got all of our toppings in there, all of the insides. Fold that over, kind of give it a little squish. And then you're going to transfer it over to a skillet that has been preheated, about medium-high heat. And you're going to toast both sides. So you want it to get nice and golden, allow that cheese to melt. So we're gonna put that on. And I've got room for another. So let's go ahead and make another one. And if somebody doesn't like black beans, you don't have to put them on there. Don't like corn, don't add the corn. These are completely customizable. And it's a really easy, fun recipe for kids. So bring your kids in and let them help with that. They could definitely mash the sweet potatoes. Give them a fork, let them mash it. I mean, you're not gonna over mix these sweet potatoes. They can sprinkle the corn and the black beans. Or even ask them, what are some different toppings you think we could put on here? Let them help you out. All right, and then cheese again. A little more. Why not? There we go. Fold it over. Give it a nice pat. This is tricky, getting it over, because you don't want anything to fall out. And turn this one that way. All right. If you feel you need to, you can always add a little bit of oil or butter here, and then just check your quesadillas. It may take a little while. You don't want to do it too fast or have your heat too high because you don't want it to burn. Just a medium-high, medium. That way you get those nice golden marks on the other side. Let's take a look at the rice right quick, see how it's doing. Nice. It's steaming, it's bubbly. Oh, I'm glad I stirred it now because it was starting to stick. So this is ready to go. All right. Again, with this, kind of like the quesadillas, if you wanted to add some corn in here, you could. That's fine. You can change up the spices, whatever you want, whatever your family enjoys. All right, so I'm going to turn the heat off on this. There we go. Keep checking our quesadillas here. All right, not quite ready. So I'm going to continue to cook these quesadillas, get them all nice and toasted and golden and melty. And then we'll come back, we'll take a quick break, we'll come back and I'll show you the end result here. So see you guys in a few.
If you're a small business owner or prospective entrepreneur, the Bladen Community College Small Business Center is here to help you. They offer free seminars to help you start or grow your existing business, and one-on-one counseling and assistance is available if needed. They can also provide you with community and statewide resources. Best of all of these services are free. Let the Bladen Community College Small Business Center help you turn your dreams into reality. Contact the Bladen Community College Small Business Center today.
Computer viruses, malware, and ransomware are out there. They're dangerous, and they can steal your identity and damage your equipment. Star Communications is now offering Protect IQ. This service adds an extra layer of protection to every device connected to your network, working quietly in the background. Star can help you protect yourself from the inside out with Protect IQ. Call Star today and take advantage of this free service when you sign up for whole home Wi-Fi with Star Communications.
Great communities attract talented people to live, work, and raise their families. We're committed to delivering future-proof broadband so our friends, families, and neighbors can live rich lives in smart rural communities across America. Your community is our community. We're your rural broadband partners. You do great things. We make great things possible.
All right, we're back again, and these quesadillas are looking yummy. So I'm gonna, this one, the first one I put on is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. We're gonna slide it over here. And here you can cut it into triangles. You know, if you do the whole tortilla and put the other one on top of it, same thing. So you can just take a really good sharp knife, start anywhere you want to, and cut there. You could just cut it in half if you wanted to. And we're gonna go ahead and cut it into some triangles. You may have to be careful because it's gonna wanna spill out on us. That's okay. All right. And then you can just arrange it on your plate. Just gonna pick that up. Put it there, here, oop, there. Just try to be fancy and we'll do that one there. Now you can eat this, of course, with the rice if you wanted to. So we'll just scoop out a little bit of that rice. Go. Very quick, easy meal that has lots of whole grains, lots of protein from your beans, which is really good to have. Again, you got beans actually in both dishes. You've got the sweet potato that's full of nutrients as well. So this is just a dish that is jam-packed full of goodness. I just want to remind you that whenever you are looking for those whole grains, make sure you're reading the package, the ingredient list. Look for the ingredient to be whole grain flour or whole wheat flour. That's very important. Sometimes, you know, things are mislabeled. Another hint or tip that I like to give people is whenever you're looking for whole grain bread or whole wheat bread, you know, look for the seeds and the nuts, you know, the grains, the whole grains in the bread itself. So that's a really good clue that it's a good whole grain bread. Again, you can slowly start incorporating grains into your diet. If you're, remember, the whole grains, they have lots of fiber. You have to be kind of careful with fiber because you don't want to add too much at one time, because we won't talk about what that leads to. But just slowly start incorporating it. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water with your fiber. It just helps things move along. Again, if you know, maybe you worry with diabetes or you know somebody who worries with diabetes, fiber is very important for them. You know, it helps regulate that blood sugar, like I said. And it's just good to help keep us fuller longer, that sense of fullness. So we're not tempted to have too many snacks. But yeah, there we go. That's a great meal. Other Like I said, you could use pasta, whole grain pasta. That's a great option. You know, explore different grains, kind of like the quinoa. There's also farro, which is great. It's a very thick, hearty grain. It's good in soups. The quinoa is good in salads, adds a different texture to your salad. There's also, you know, maybe if you don't want to do a whole grain pasta, there's all sorts of alternative pastas out there. You know, they have made them with chickpeas, lentils, all sorts of things, but those would be great alternatives to a whole wheat pasta. So, and then just try to make sure you're getting in those 25 to 35 grams of whole wheat or whole grains each day, or fiber, sorry, that was fiber. It's very important. And let's see. I think that's all I have for you on whole grains for today. But please try these recipes out. Like I said, great recipes to get the kids involved in the kitchen. You can explore, you can change it up, different stuff or ingredients into the quesadilla. Sky's the limit. All right, well, that's all I have for you today. Come back and see me again on the next episode of At the Table.